Burn it all! Burn it all! Hey, how's it going? My name is Jackie Fish. I really don't know what I'm doing half of these intros. I kind of just do them on the fly. But we are back with another Total War Thrones of Britannia online battle. This should be very exciting because I haven't played Thrones of Britannia in a long time. So it's going to be kind of cool jumping in and just really seeing how the battles are. Honestly, I think the siege battles were one of the best parts. Probably one of the best features in most recent Total Wars were the siege maps. So it's always good to get a Thrones of Britannia battle map now and again. And they also recently just went ahead and updated the game and added in a bunch more features to the campaign map, which was kind of the lacking side of the campaign, was the campaign features. So it's good to see them going back, still adding patches and showing love to Thrones of Britannia, because I think it had such a great kind of concept to it. It had really cool features. They were new, they were different, which I feel like Total War was struggling with, and it just kind of failed to really hit the mark, but the ideas were good in and of themselves. So yes, we are back with Thrones of Britannia because of the new patch, and it should be a very exciting siege battle. We have an entire envelopment as the Welsh and the Irish come together to invade this defensive Viking fort. Normally you see the Vikings busy sieging and pillaging and all of that, but no, this time they are going to be defending, as they have actually sent out a small cavalry force to see if they can get any harassment done on the Welsh as they push forward. Also, we take a look at the balance of power. You can see, oh my god, we have almost 19,000, over 19,000 soldiers in this battle, which is kind of crazy for Thrones of Britannia. That is actually pretty insane. And, we have 8,500 defending, and then we have 10,000 attacking. So, should hopefully make for a very exciting battle. Lots going on. They are attacking from every single direction as well. We should add even more to the battle. So yeah, let's, without further ado, just get stuck in to this battle and really see how this is going to go off. So we can see that the East Anglian Viking cavalry did come out to try and harass the Welsh, but the Welsh are going to be committing their own cavalry into this battle, and they're going to be trying to maybe just silence this. However, they are going to be losing some cavalry as well from the towers in the battle map. We should also take a look at the battle map as well, because as I said, this is by far the best part of Thrones of Britannia, were the siege maps. They were really awesome. I mean, these towers look pretty cool. And then just kind of the design of the overall siege map, with plenty of bridges, towns. But one of the amazing things about the towns is there's so many little side paths and alleyways that you can run through all of these positions. And I believe you can even go under here or in here from somewhere. Yeah, I believe you can even fight in here somehow. Or there's a variant of this building where you can actually fight inside of it. It was just a really cool addition to games, especially after Warhammer, with the sieges being kind of the worst part of that game. So to come back and have like these awesome sieges, every map feels unique and different and exciting. So yeah, I just think that was, a really good thing, and something I wanted to touch on before we get into this replay fully. So again, the cavalry has turned up. However, they're going to be running into some pretty heavy swordsmen from the Welsh, and they're going to be able to push back the cavalry. And that's going to be pretty big. Losing cavalry early on, even if you are the defenders of the siege, it's going to be costly, because you're not going to be able to use them to effectively, hammer and anvil or slow up any attackers inside the village. We're also getting men turning off of the ladders as well as the siege towers. The infantry is going to be making their way in, probably looking to take out these towers as quickly as possible. And there's a few, arrows coming off from this tower, finding their mark on this infantry. We do have some awesome looking shield walls, though, as they prepare to hold the battle line. The defenders do need to be very careful, though, not to get enveloped. They do have quite a few holes in their formation, so we could see quite quickly the attackers just enveloping these defenders in their loose formations, and just really pushing in numbers. Because as we saw in the beginning, there's about 2,000 more attackers than there are defenders, which could be pretty deadly. However, this archer volley, wow. Yeah, these archers are going ham right now. The armored archers, yeah, they've got a perfect angle. And this is one of the great things in sieges. You can create these like avenues where you can really abuse your missiles and do so much damage. This is a really good defense right here as well for the defenders as well. Nice little shield wall right up there. And one of the awesome things, again, about this map is that the walls themselves are in an elevation, so that these archers can shoot over the head of their own men without attacking, without hitting their own men in the back, because these guys are elevated. So it's just a really nice setup for the defenders to repel the attackers with everything they've got. Now, as you can see, there's going to be sieges everywhere. We've got a big battle going on. There's an entire Welsh contingent over there we'll have to keep an eye on. This battle looks like it's going much more heavily for the walls themselves. So we're going to be seeing Axemen v Axemen. Seems like the Welsh have come a bit more heavily armoured. However, You know, all this is probably is for the Norse is more of a like a holding force rather than anything else. Trying to keep them in place whilst, you know, their other more aggressive units do other stuff. They're even starting to retreat back a few units, already giving up this side of the wall. How are we doing on this part? Yeah, this part we do have some infantry turned up. We even got some artillery coming in as well. I wonder if they're going to try and kill the gatehouse, maybe even the towers. Because these towers do tend to rack up a large amount of kills if they're not careful. I mean, Ban's power is still looking really bad for the defenders. However, obviously this is going to probably start shifting in favour as the siege goes on. Plenty more Welshmen ready to dive in with that artillery just bombarding. Is it really only one? Oh no, okay. The rest of the artillery has been killed by maybe Norse artillery? Or maybe it was a cavalry charge that killed them. Yeah, maybe, because there is only one left. And we do actually have a large kind of contingent of hidden infantry right there, waiting for this battering ram to move up. So this is a really cool, like, multi-stage siege battle. I love the way how they've enveloped it. And I think, as I said, just the Thrones of Britannia siege maps really create fun and exciting siege battles. They really do. Because each one is so different and adds a lot of flavour. I also really dig the way the gates are in this, like seeing that bit above. It's kind of cool. So this infantry is going to be preparing itself. We can even see the siege tower right there, or the battering ram right there as well. It's obviously a heavy one, very, very high tech. The archers aren't going to probably be able to take it down, especially not burn it because it's covered in metal as well. Oh my god, the ram head is coming through the gate. Hold, men! Hold! We'll take a look at the rest of the battle as well, because obviously the entire city is being surrounded. This is like the only avenue not really being assaulted right now. Yeah, you can see the major pushes here. The Irish are coming in pretty heavily right there. They'll be able to, you know, envelop the rest of the East Anglia infantry. Over on here, the North seem like they're kind of contending the Welsh, but they also have to worry about this big Welsh push over here. So we'll go over and take a look at the Irish for now, see how they are faring in this battle. And if you guys want to see more Thrones of Britannia siege battles, do let me know in the comments down below. As I said, each map is really unique and interesting, so we could have plenty of really exciting battles if that's what you guys want to see. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Look at these dudes. These are some pretty sturdy Norsemen for sure. Especially when they're in the shield wall as well. One of my biggest complaints, I think, about the battles in Thrones of Britannia, which was solely just for formations, really felt very lackluster. I'm not sure if that's changed in the most recent patches, as I have only read a few of the patch notes. But it seemed like most of the time, you know, like the animations for the shield wall would just go away as soon as units clash, and I think that's still in the game, and I think that just really takes a lot away from it. That was one of my biggest complaints, I think, about Thrones of Britannia. You know, besides that, the battles were kind of on point. They felt much longer. You know, after playing Warhammer, which I'm personally not a huge fan of the battles in that game, like, it was kind of nice to come back and play, you know, Thrones of Britannia, and the battles felt more like they were historical, you know, based and stuff. And that's not to say that the Warhammer battles, you know, aren't good. It's just I'm not a fan of that style of battle. So it was kind of nice, you know, to come back and see the Thrones of Britannia battles really kind of staying somewhat true to the old style of play. So how's this other side doing? So the Irish have completely overwhelmed this position. They're actually surrounding these spearmen up here. They've even got some javelins in the front who are going to be harassing these spearmen, and some swordsmen in the front as well. However, they are being hammered. Oh, this is so cool. They haven't got the men on the barricade. They've got a few men on the barricade. Seems like a bit of a glitch, but they have some archers shooting down. If they were up on the barricade, which I think they're going to maneuver to, it seems like there's some sort of glitch going on right here. But yeah, they need to get on that barricade if they can. It seems like they've glitched out, though. They'll be able to do so much damage there. More reinforcements turning up to the gate to try and relieve it. We've got some berserk shield biters even. These are top-tier infantry for the Vikings, and they'll be able to do some pretty dirty work against these swordsmen from the Irish. Yeah, this is going to be a hard fight right there. How are the Welsh faring, though, as we go down here? Yeah, they're still engaging on every single position, trying to break through at the gate. You know, and one of the nice things about these attacking sieges is once you start breaking through, like, the defense kind of starts to crumble. The defender has a small choice. Do they retreat back and try and hold the next layer of defense, or do they just go all out and try and defend these places? Because once one unit breaks through, they can then go and aid another unit, and then aid another unit, and it kind of just like is a dominoes effect more than anything else. Well, one of the gatehouses have gone down over here, where the Irish are assaulting on the main Irish assault. It'll be interesting to see if they can get their cavalry in, and that looks like exactly what they're doing. They're starting to bring up their horsemen now as well. And if these guys can get into the city, it's going to be pretty devastating for the Vikings, because they'll be able to start harassing and opening up other breaches, you know, hammering, anviling, hitting the archers and forcing them back. We do actually have an artillery shot coming off, though, from over here. That's kind of cool, from the inner layer. I still wish there'd be artillery emplacements on the wall, like proper ones where you could just commit your maneuverable artillery. Kind of like how you would garrison men on the wall. I would love for that to be an artillery, like there'd be special positions where you could garrison artillery on the wall, but then you could also just bring it off if you wanted to. I mean, even though the Irish have kind of overwhelmed this position, they are actually routing a few infantry there. I mean, we do have more coming off now, I guess, to reinforce. It's mainly down to these armoured archers. The armoured archers have done an amazing job at doing this. However, yeah, there you go. The Vikings have kind of broken here, and that's going to allow the Irish to really come around now, envelop these guys, and push for assault elsewhere. How's the assault going right there? Still struggling on the gate. You got archers coming in here with their fire arrows. And they are also fighting some infantry not in shield wall either, so we actually be able to get some kills right there. Over on this side, they are making progress. Yeah, kind of making progress here. They've got some Welsh veteran axemen here as well, so they'll probably be doing decently. They honestly need to try and take these towers out quickly. The quicker these towers go down, the better. Because, as you say, every single second that these towers stay alive, they'll be racking up a kill or two. You really need to savour as much infantry as you can. But as I said, balance of power, though, is really shifting in favour of the attackers. Like, every single second I look at it, it's kind of going more and more, which is surprising. There's still kind of a 2,000-man advantage for the attackers. Seems like they're doing a great job at overwhelming. Normally, you lose a lot of men trying to take the walls, but it doesn't seem like it's too bad. This also seems like a really well-balanced battle as well. Seems like the numbers and the balance of power started off kind of very, very nice. Oh, here we go. The cavalry has made it in for the Irish, and they're going to be hunting down these goddamn bowmen who have been causing them so many issues. And you can see, yeah, here we go. This is not going to be good. They're going to volley off. They kind of know their fate. There's nowhere for them to run, really, so they just have to sit here and take it. Try and do as much damage, but oh, baby! That cavalry charge is going to rip through the line. Look at them. There's like none of them standing. And I imagine their numbers are going to go down so quickly as well. Really, really quickly. That's brutal indeed. It really, really is. Yeah, it's kind of scary. I'm actually going to stick on the unit strength and ammunition. I think that's kind of an important thing to stick on, actually. Don't really know why I didn't have it on already. This is really awesome as well. I like this being brought back in from Warhammer. That's really cool. In the battles, it's just, you know, really nice to kind of be able to change that up. Yeah, cavalry's just going to wrap up now. And this is the thing, is this cavalry can kind of go all over the map and really help out their Welsh brethren. And that's exactly what they're doing. Got some more cavalry up here as well. And this is why maybe it wasn't the best idea to charge out your cavalry. You know, even though obviously there's not really much use for your cavalry inside the city, you can do stuff like that where you can prevent their cavalry from hitting you and allow your infantry to retreat back and your missiles to retreat back to the inner layer. So I totally understand why they sallied out of their cavalry, because it's kind of a bit useless in the early game. But I think on maybe a map which is as big as this, there's a lot of space. It takes a long time to get infantry back into the inner layers, so maybe it could have been a good idea to keep them around. But I totally understand. I probably would have sallied them out myself. It's a tactic I like to do quite a lot to harass the attackers as we try and get closer, try and disrupt their assault. The Welsh are just simply pouring in to this breach point right here, destroying that tower and just not giving any quarter against the Vikings. And yeah, here you go. The Vikings are in a full-on retreat right now. Seeing the Welsh and their cavalrymen, there is nothing else they can do. So they are simply falling back to the last bastion, their last stand of defense, where they have infantry ready to fight. And I imagine this is the elite Norsemen right here. The Joms Vikings are amazing. They really, really are.
The men have been routed. They are leaving the field.
Some of the strongest warriors in England at the time period, and they're going to be able to hold. And again, this side is not giving up quite easily. I think they are in full-on retreat right now with everything they've got. And they're just going to fall back, I think, and that's going to bake ourselves up for the last little stand right there. So as I said, once one starts to break, multiple lines just can't withstand. They get outflanked and surrounded and killed. So it does seem like the defenders did decide to retreat back, and the balance of power, as I said, has shifted once more. The Welsh are going to be pursuing them, and this is also a great idea. Does seem like some of these Frau Axemen have been left behind for the sole purpose of being a rear guard. These guys, their only job is to stay here and keep the enemy busy whilst their better units get back. These poor, poor men. They're so lightly armoured. Look at the armour difference right now. They literally do not stand a goddamn chance. I'm just waiting to see like some cavalry or something come behind them and kill them. Yeah, look, even these Viking hunters are probably going to get a couple more shots off and go back. But this is a really good defensive position. You have like the high ground right here, the hill. You have a lot of elite infantry. So it's going to be hard for the attackers to break this. I remember I played Apollo on this map very, very early on. I think before the game even came out. And this kind of scenario happened where I broke through his assault. However, he fell back to this position. It was so fortified that it was really hard to finish it off. So even though the battle is, you know, very much in favor of the attackers, I would not count the defenders out. And again, that's what I'm saying. The way the map is designed, it creates really awesome scenarios like this. And I literally cannot praise their maps enough. I mean, I have been. I probably have praised them too much, but definitely some of the best maps in Total War, I think, of all time. I'd be more than happy to commit. Oh my god, that guy just headbutted a plate helmet. Jesus. I mean, I guess he has to be pretty crazy. And there we go. The city is burning. So this was another cool feature that was in Thrones of Britannia, was that when you run past buildings, units with the raiding trait will like kind of break off and burn buildings as they go, which I think is really cool. However, I'd much prefer being able to decide what I burn myself. Like being able just to right click, if my unit has the raider trait, being able to right click on a section of buildings and then I'll set fire to them, you know? I'd much prefer that than like the AI randomly doing it as I run past a certain building. But I definitely did like this type of feature. So the Irish are simply just advancing their armies inside now. They're making sure all of their men are inside the fortress itself before they go ahead and commit this final assault. And I think the Welsh are also pushing forward bit by bit. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more infantry committed across this bridge and round here to help out on this side. Because, you know, the Welsh have a decent amount of troops here, but not that, like, not a ton compared to maybe what they're going to be coming up against. So it wouldn't be the worst idea. Small little contingent of Vikings here as well fighting. There's actually more Vikings than Welsh. The Welsh are actually somewhat surrounded. They are being shot by the towers, maybe? No, they're being supported by the towers. Somehow there's an eagle-eye Legolas in that building, finding his mark on every single Welshman here. The Welshman armor as well was quite cool. It's a nice little addition. So is this men moving in now? Yeah, the Norsemen falling back. You got kind of a nice little mix of East Anglia and Norsemen here. It's going to be a hard defensive wall to break, that is for sure. I mean, just look at that line, especially as more infantry just flee back. This is going to be one hard nut to crack for the attackers. And they also have the ability to have archers up here as well. And these archers are obviously in such a good position right now. They can just hammer away on any of the attackers coming close. And they'll easily whittle down, you know, they're probably going to be focusing on a lot of these missiles, stuff that can break up the shield wall quite effectively. Especially against the Welsh as well. The Welsh longbowmen are amazing, they really are. Don't know if we can see their range. They have 180 range compared to 165 on these mailed archers. And these are like the best bowmen the Norse can get, so it's a big range difference. And they do a lot of damage as well on top of that. Oh, this brave unit of spearmen are running away now after defeating the Welsh right there. They're now getting enveloped. The city does continue to burn. And this, now, I really like this. Like, I don't want you guys to be under impression, but I didn't like this kind of raiding trait. It was just, I wish I had more control over it more than anything else. Oh, artillery coming out as well. Because from playing a lot of artillery, it was always annoying, you know, not really being able to burn a lot of the buildings as you, like, progress through the city. And that's kind of how it should be, right? The further you get into the city, the more you burn, the more you loot and pillage. So you really wanted that feeling. That's going to be a hard shield wall. I mean, look at that. On top of a hill as well. It's brutal, man. Take a look at the map as well whilst we're here. You can see that the enemy are just pushing in everything they've got surrounding the fortress itself. These archers are opening up though, and as I said, they got a beautiful volley down. It's kind of one of the reasons why these fortresses are as deadly as they are. There's so many cross sections where the attackers are kind of forced in. They've also turned their backs to these archers as well, who, if they get another volley off, should do a nice amount of damage. But also one of the great things about the like attacking, or just in general Friends of Britannia, was the shield wall. You can basically, whenever you bring soldiers up, you just form shield wall and leave them there until you need them. It was like a really effective way of just advancing more and more infantry forward. The Irish are also going up. Again, the archers are coming in. Oh my god, look at that Irish formation. Look at them Irishmen. They are ready for blood.
Incoming artillery fire.
They don't care. Archer fire coming in now as well. The Irish army is ready. This is awesome. Look at this. They're like in like a proper marching column into the city. They're going to form up probably and then make their final push. So is that the Welsh are maybe going to go and support their brothers over on this left-hand side? Yeah, they're probably going to meet up both of their contingents of the army and then going for an assault. Would not surprise me. These archers are also running out of ammunition as well, which is not too good. Here they come though, more and more infantry charging into battle against them. Assuming these spearmen are going to be the first ones in, which aren't necessarily the worst thing. Obviously this infantry is extremely good, so we'll be able to repel spearmen. But I mean, look at that. It's a hard fight. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they immediately like break the formation. At least like leave the top layer with their shields up. It's just kind of annoying, right? I'd much prefer, you know, the whole like feeling of this thing is like the shield wall. So it sucks so much when it just goes away as soon as units clash together. Kind of really takes you away from the atmosphere. The Irish are just waiting for their time, the order to be given. They are obviously all going to be forming shield wall though, to repel the missiles coming in. And realistically, it's probably better for these missiles just to hold their fire until the fighting's begun and then volley down on the attackers, you know, just volley down on them. There's also a gap here as well in their formation, which if the attackers realize, they can easily exploit that and come round. And I assume these Welsh infantrymen are just here basically to keep them at bay until the rest of the army turns up. I'm not sure how far away it is or if it's even coming. Maybe it's not even coming. Oh, no, it is. There it is. Yeah, so I just need to basically hold off until these guys turn up. And then they'll be much better off. We've even got some cavalry coming in as well. Dudes coming around here. This is a very, very thin wall as well. You've got some Welsh heavy warriors charging in. Here they go against the shield wall. Very, very thin charge right there, which is a good way for breaking up, like, you know, sturdy formations, honestly. It's not a bad way of doing it. I love the fire in the background as well. It's always so awesome. And I imagine more reinforcements are going to be turning up very, very soon. No, actually being pulled back. I wonder why. Probably just to wait until more reinforcements turn up. The Irish line. There's a small fight right here. I guess they're just throwing up the weaker infantry maybe to soften up this line, allow the javelins to come in. It's kind of weird, like the line's holding here though. Like this is cool, but it's when the back line. Maybe it's like if as soon as someone in the back line gets touched, that's when the shield wall breaks. Because right now the shield wall is holding, and that's good. You know, they're fighting from outside of that shield. You know, they're kind of still keeping the tightness though of the locked shields, and they're just kind of the front line's picking out whilst these guys protect the top. You know, that's cool. This is how all the fighting should be. I mean, maybe it's just for well-trained troops. No, let me know in the comments if you play Friends of Britannia. Like, what's going on here? Why do some units do it and then all of a sudden now they break it and they go into fighting? What I imagine happens is like as soon as someone on the back row gets attacked, it kind of breaks the formation. But that looked really cool, you know. Whilst that was going on, that looked awesome. So, I don't understand why it just can't be like that the entire time. And as we predicted, the Welsh spearmen do not stand a chance against this infantry. The Jarl's chosen swordsmen have basically taken no damage and got how many kills? 110 kills, and they've lost like 30 men, not even 30 men. The archers are also doing exactly what we suggested as well, and just shoot them as they engage. The infantry are kind of suffering a little bit, but they're going to be able to repel this first Welsh assault for sure. But more reinforcements are now turning up. I imagine these archers might be having a thing or two to say. Is there any like heavy axemen over here? Yeah, there's some axemen. But again, they're not like the super Huskell type of axemen. And the village itself is just burning. Which is very, very cool to see. Artillery coming in as well. Maybe trying to soften up a few of the defenders in the center. Unfortunately, not getting any good shots though. Yeah, and the Irish are simply waiting. The Irish also have a massive reserve line as well. It's kind of crazy how many men the Irish have. Number-wise, we can see as the Welsh going for the next assault is that there's 2,600 defenders and 4,000 attackers. Now, saying that, I don't know, like the Irish seem like they're simply sitting back and waiting for the Welsh to break through or for more infantry to be committed, which is not a bad strategy, honestly. It seems like they've kind of committed the bare minimum to defend this part of the map. So if the Welsh break through, we're going to obviously see a lot of infantry being brought back, and maybe that's going to be the signal for the Irish to assault. So this kind of staggered assault line is actually not a bad idea if they can make the breach they need. If they get repelled, it's going to be catastrophic because they're not going to be attacking at the same time. But if they do successfully make that breach, it's going to take off less pressure from the Irish side of the battlefield. So it's really up to whether or not the Welsh can pierce through. But to be fair, I'm sure we will see the Irish moving soon. And realistically, having this staggered assault, is, you know, when you're not under pressure and you kind of have the advantage is good. Because if they do engage, say, like, if the Irish engage, like, now, which is exactly what they have done, awesome. If they engage now, then when there is a breach point over on the Welsh side, there's going to be no infantry to support because all the infantry is going to be committed here. So, you know, having this staggered assault is actually going to be really useful because once these do break, you know, there's only a handful of infantry to send to plug the gap. So, because all the other infantry is engaged here, and vice versa, you know, if the Irish break through, then they're going to be having a good stand. But I mean, we're under the impression that the Welsh and Irish can actually break this formation, and it doesn't necessarily mean they will. As we said, there are a lot of very good Viking infantry here. Oh, that's going to be huge. Who's general? Wow, the Welsh general has been killed. That's going to be so bad for them. I imagine their morale is just going to drop on the entire infantry. Yeah, look at that. They're getting ready to break. And the Welsh don't have that much left, honestly. But yeah, a lot of their infantry is close to routing already. Wow, that could have just turned the tail right on its head. Now it's up for the Vikings to really commit their bowmen, fire arrows, everything they can do. Now I imagine the Irish King is a bit more protected here. The Irish King is back there. And the Royal Huskarls of the Vikings are also falling back now after, I imagine, a little sprint at the front. And yeah, it's just these defensive positions are just so useful. You obviously need like a lot of archers yourself or a lot of javelins to break up these shield walls. Or even artillery as well. Or like full-on fighting against heavy elite infantry, it's going to be tough, especially when you turn your backs like that and you just get volleyed after volley after volley in the back. The next reinforcement line is going to be moving up, the second wave, and this wave is committed with a lot of Irish axemen. Look at that. The archers immediately change their focus onto killing the Irish axemen. There are so many of them. Look at that. Wow, and they're just marching in, ready for their charge. That's a lot of axemen. Wow, that is a lot of axemen. Yeah, these archers will be having a field day killing them, but yeah, I don't know about this defense anymore. After seeing this many elite axemen, they might just be able to completely... There's more of them as well. How is there so many of them? Is that all the Irish goddamn brought? Oh, it looks like the Norse line is going to break here as well pretty soon. Another unit of infantry being committed, I guess, over there. Going to have these guys brought round as well. I can't believe how many axes are there. There are so many. I guess I will turn on the unit class as well. Like so. That's better. I probably should have done that from the beginning. Oh, a gap's appeared. Oh, they need to quickly run in. Oh, these guys have gone berserk. That is so bad for the defenders. That is so bad that these guys have gone berserk. Look at this huge gap now. And I assume the Irish, yeah, some of these archers are having to go in now. I assume the Irish are going to quickly check that out. And we also have the huge assault here by the Axemen. What a ferocious last charge that was. A back and forth now as the swords and shields clash. The swordsmen are doing a good job. They're killing quite a few of these Axemen with the support of the archers. But I just think there's so many of them that they're not going to be able to stand. especially once this gap gets exploited. You've got infantry coming over as quickly as they can to reform up here, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, honestly. The shield biters have been slaughtered right there. And the Welsh are in now. The Welsh have found the gap and they're going to be pushing in everything. Not that they really have much left. This unit of cavalry is going to get through as well. Round the back, and maybe that can cause some damage. You're even going to be getting the siege guard going in as well, as these axemen get completely surrounded. But also the Vikings are holding over on his left hand side. They've managed to rout a huge portion of the Welsh. And I don't know, maybe they have this. I don't think they do, because there's just so many axemen left remaining. Like, so many axemen still fighting for the Welsh. And I don't think the Irish, sorry. And I don't think the Vikings have that much ammunition left. And as you can see, gaps are appearing quite thick and fast. You're having to commit these wounded units, which I don't think will be a match for the Axemen. The Axemen are obviously great armor-piercing units. They're good at breaking through the armor and ripping away the shields. And as much of a great defense that the Norsemen are putting up in this battle, I just don't think it'll be enough. And again, they are routing with the commitment of the general as well. They're bringing up the tier 3 general right now, the elite Viking warriors. They're trying to deal with the Welsh now so they can commit everything back over to the defense on that side. And I mean, the Welsh are now dealt with. They literally have nothing left. These units have all broken. The general is about to break as well. And this infantry is going to rush over as fast as it can. There's some more Viking hunters here. I mean, ideally, they would want to be pushed here. Maybe they'll hold. Doesn't look like it, though. Over here, the general is not the... Oh, yeah, they're committing archers to this fight. That is not going to be good one bit. It is indeed a rout. There we go. That's going to be huge. If the Irish want, they can just commit so much infantry through that huge gaping hole that they created. And, more men are just charging in now. We are going to be seeing the rush of reinforcements, but I think it's just, a minute too late. Yeah, you can see the entire Norseman line is breaking now. There's only... But, I mean, if you look at the numbers, number-wise, it is super even. Like, there's only 500 men in it, which I guess is a lot at this point in the battle, but not really. Like, you get a couple good routes off, and then it's all over. So, who knows? This battle could be flipped around with a general unit. 2 general units, good experience on this one. Like, they're going to form a shield all in time. They're going to charge, actually. Probably not best to try and charge infantry like that. I mean, charge axemen like that. The axemen will probably have the better end of it. Yeah, more axemen just being thrown in to surround. We do actually have one of the Royal Huskels as well, with their huge shields on the back as well, I guess, to protect them from missile fire from the rear. It's not a bad idea, to be honest. Yeah, these axemen are going to be very good, but I just don't think the numbers are going to really be there for this battle. Yeah, they also have this cavalry left as well. Yeah, if this cavalry wasn't here, maybe there'd be a chance for the Norsemen. And again, the infantry is doing an amazing job. Look at some routing coming in as well. If a mass rout occurred, I mean, how's their morale like? A lot of their morale is pretty decent. The cavalry just needs to make its way. God damn, I could hardly speak there for a second. Make its way around here and kind of maybe hit these guys. Look at the bodies as well. Wow, look at that. So many built up here in these battles. Look at that. That's awesome. It's really cool. Makes it feel like an actual battle was held here, right? Especially if we go over here as well. I mean, look at this breach point. Look at that. So many of that breach point. That's awesome. The cavalry coming in. The cavalry's not really being as aggressive as I would like to see them be, like coming around the flank and stuff. And I say that, wow. A lot of the... Oh my god, a lot of the Irishmen, the axemen just aren't cutting it against the elite generals at all. I mean, they only have to kill archers. This cavalry might need to actually do something, crazy to actually do this. I mean, maybe there's just not enough numbers, but they're definitely routing. The Irish are definitely routing right now. It's just, I don't know if there's enough men on the north side whatsoever. But only time will tell. This Irish cavalry, though, needs to come around the back and try and surround some people. Kill these archers. Rear charge. Because a rear charge into the back of these Huskills would be deadly. Right now, it's kind of almost anyone's game. Like, I'm ignoring the band's power right now. Because more and more of these Irishmen are routing. And I imagine the number is actually even right now. How crazy is that? They were outnumbered by like 400 or 500 men. More infantry being thrown in as well. I honestly don't know who's going to win this battle. As I said, it comes from a defensive position of the fortress as well. Yeah, that cavalry needs to do some big stuff, because if they don't, it's completely over. Numbers-wise, though, 46 left in this one. Kind of feel like the Norsemen have this, because the Irish are so close to routing. This cavalry, though, coming in. This cavalry could be the saviour. Oh, my God, yeah, they're so close to routing from that rear charge as well. Could the cavalry do it? The cavalry needs to charge this from all sides. Rout that and then deal with this. The archers are still shooting as well. Fire arrows, I imagine, will be used. The Norse general is going to break. No, hold. Hold as long as you can. The cavalry going off. One last archer volley. Fires, but more and more of the Irish are breaking. I don't know who's going to win this battle at all. I did not expect it to be this close right at the end. Oh my God, what a battle this has turned into. This is absolutely crazy. The general right there of the Norse have gone down, and that could actually cause a mass rout on these guys. I don't know if these Royal Huskills are going to be enough, but they're also going to get some more infantry back as well, charging in. Yeah, all the Norsemen have gone now, besides these like kind of 2 infantry engaged. The cavalry's going to come around, and the cavalry rear charges. But also, I don't know, the morale is just so bad on these guys. The Royal Huskills over here have golden experience. Oh, I think, oh my God, the Irish are going to win it by the skin of their teeth to this rear charge. My God, what a battle this was in the end. How close. And it was the cavalry that did it. So imagine if the Norsemen had kept their cavalry right until the end. Wow, what a battle. What an ending, man. What an ending. Yeah, looking at 430 kills on the Royal Huskills at the end. And I imagine the other general has 300 as well. Pretty goddamn impressive indeed. The archers as well, I saw with like a couple hundred kills apiece. The berserkers as well, 300 kills, all pretty nice indeed. And over on the other side, on the Welsh and Irish side, there was some pretty good kills on the English longbowmen, very, very deadly. A lot of their infantry, though, didn't do anything too crazy besides like this one of their axemen. And the Irish, yeah, their infantry all did pretty goddamn decent, so nothing to complain about there. So if you guys enjoyed this battle, be sure to drop a like and a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of that goddamn ending. Oh my God, that was crazy. And I'll see you guys in the next one.